boy Charles. Charles on there as well, just checking in. Hope you guys having a good evening. We are getting ready to delve into another book audio reaction. Let's go ahead and play it, and I'm gonna come back with my reaction. Appreciate it, guys.
Saniko Shakur, also known by his former street moniker Monster or Monster Cody, was an American author and former gang member. He was a member of the Los Angeles-based 8-Tray gangster Crips. He got his nickname as a 13-year-old gang member when he beat and stomped a robbery victim until he was disfigured. Shakur claimed to have reformed in prison, joined the Republic of New Africa movement, and wrote a 1993 memoir called Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member. Monster describes how Shakur was drawn into gang life, his experiences as a gangster both on the street and in prisons, and eventually his transformation into a black nationalist. Shakur spent 36 months at San Quentin State Prison and 5 years at Pelican Bay State Prison, most of which was spent in solitary confinement, where he converted to Islam. In March 2007, Shakur, already sought by police for parole violations and named on the city's most wanted gang members list, was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department for allegedly breaking into the home of an acquaintance and beating him in order to steal his car. The charges represent a possible third strike that could send Shakur back to prison for life. In May 2008, Shakur pleaded no contest to carjacking and robbery charges, and was sentenced to 6 years in state prison. Also in 2008, Shakur made his fiction debut with the publication of Thug Life magazine. He was released from Pelican Bay after serving 2/3 of his 6-year sentence in August 2012. The day Cody became a monster. As a new member of the Crips, Shakur was mentored in the ways of gang banging by Trey Ball. In 1977, at age 13, Shakur and Trey Ball attempted to rob an older African American man who was walking through their neighborhood. The man punched Shakur in the face and, after being physically restrained by Trey Ball when he attempted to run, was kicked and stomped by Cody for approximately 20 minutes. Cody's vicious attack left the man in a coma with his face permanently disfigured. According to Shakur, Crips present at the crime scene overheard police officers saying that whoever assaulted the man was a monster and reported this back to Shakur from that point on. Other members of the 8-Trays referred to Shakur as Monster, and he took the name as a street moniker. For more amazing stories and true crime dramas, please subscribe to Charles Arness World. Thank you.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Charles in there as well. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Listen, I found this clip with about OG Monster Cody. He was a well-known Crip gang member turned author. He passed away, I believe, 2 years ago, about a year ago or so. But I found this clip interesting. He talked about when he first met Tookie Williams and the influence of the old school. Let's take this clip.
So I rode off. I was on my bike. That was the first time I really met him. But I already knew I knew who he was by sight, by his shape, by just the way people were around him. He just and here's the thing about Tookie. Tookie never was like the leader. He just was one of the hardest motherfuckers, and motherfuckers was just on that level getting hard. So who else better to emulate than the hardest motherfucker there? But Tookie, he himself was emulating Craig Munson. The thing was to try to be a giant. The thing was that when I hit you, I want to knock you out. I don't got time to be fighting with you all day. My biscuits is shined up. I got my creases in. I got the vest on. You know what I mean? I got my ace deuce. I got the motherfucking... It's hooked up. I ain't got time to be fighting with you. I got this long cross earring in. When I hit you, I'm going to knock you out. So in order for me to do that, I got to lift weights. So Tookie was the prototype of that for us But he himself was, as we all overstand, right? Tookie used to have a big old picture of Sergio Olivia, and a Cuban brother who won Mr. Olympia. First brother ever to do it, African Cuban. And so everybody had something to look up to, man. But but you had Tookie, right? But Tookie wasn't the biggest. There was other cats bigger than Tookie, but they didn't have the whole package.
Bigger in what? Reputation or size?
And size. No one bigger than rep. Because once the rep is established, then that's what you ride on, right? And then more times out of 10, when you approach, people are approaching you based on your rep. So that'll float you for a while, but Tookie's like Cute's like all of us. The rep ain't cool. I need to fight every day. So that's how Tookie was. He just pull up and just want to fight a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So he wasn't always the biggest, but he had the whole total package, the whole charisma. Man, look, bro, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Keyway and Took is a Keyway, and I knew him personally, but he was star quality, man, just like Mouse. These cats, man, in any other lane in this country, if freedom existed, these dudes would be who everybody would be. These dudes would be our Billy D. Williams. They would be our James Earl Jones. These dudes, I'm talking about the total package. Intelligence, wit, charm, unbridled sexuality, physique, looks, teeth. I mean, these dudes, no tattoos. They didn't have to do none of that. They didn't have to, look, when you see these dudes, they might just do something as esoteric as this. Just throw their wing out on you. Ain't nobody seen this but you and this dude. But he just flexed on you. Now it's about Burger Swan and going to Long Beach and catching him at the Long Beach Arena for the Parliament Funkadelic concert. We're going to break on him. Come out on him, Tookie. Break on him, Tookie. Break on him. That's what Big Jack would say. Break on him, Tookie. And Tookie would come out of shit. No tattoos, waist this small. Come out like this, man. I mean, I'm just a giant of a dude. Handsome. Big old natural. At the height of health. Taking no supplements or nothing, man. Man, Took would do this shit. All bullshit aside on the set. Took would go up to the liquor store and buy a half pint of chocolate milk. Go right around the other aisle and get a little packet of yeast. He'd take the yeast and eat the yeast and drink the chocolate milk on the way back home and say, I'm finna go out to the house and blow up like bread. And he'd start lifting because it was my job to stack the weights. Me, Harv, Lil Harv, Trey Ball. It was our job to stack the weights. So if he say he doing arms that day, we get the arm shit out. Dumbbells. You know how the whole front room, Tookie's whole front room was no furniture, all weights. That cute, I mean that the other homies had went around and taken from areas and people. So Took's whole front room was weights. You want to sit down, you sit down on a stack of 50s. Or you sit down on that crate, but in that crate is like a dang gang of dimes. And mirrors. And a crate with a box with a speaker in it that was hooked to a line that went to the back that was supposed to be an 8-track, but it only played 4 songs. A 4-track. So they played 4 songs over and over all day. Girl Call It by Chocolate Milk. Reach For It by George Duke. Happy Feelings by Frankie Beverly and Mays. And Go Away Little Boy by Marlena Shaw. Now this song here made it into the repertoire because Big Jack, Took's roommate, who was an OG Eastside Crip, swole at the top, but he had little bitty chicken legs. That's the homie. But that was his weakness. He had the proverbial despicable me body. Like the penitentiary body. That, you know, before people start working on their legs, overstanding that the legs is your foundation. And I'm getting off this, man. I'm gonna start. Look, hey, bro, look, look.
First day he met Raymond Washington, and he hung out at 13 years old with Raymond Washington and Stanley Tookie Williams, two of the well-known founders of the Crips. Let's play this clip. Let's play this clip.
First time I met Raymond Washington. Listen to this. This is historical shit right here, homie. All bullshit aside. By this time, in me and Tookie's relationship, I had started carrying a gun. But Tookie's driver, a cat named T-Bone from the west side of 92nd, had a pearl white 68 Chevy on Kragers. That motherfucker was tight. No hydraulics, it just was fucking sitting on fucking 20 Kragers. Pearl white, with the bullets. Pearl white. That was Tookie's like driver. So on Sundays, we banked at Centennial Park, but I carried a gun. So it'd be him driving, Took, and me in the back with the burner, big ass police 38. I had already had like 2 bodies by this time. But this day we go to Centennial Park and Raymond's there. So everybody's gathering around Raymond. I'm just in the cut like I'm supposed to be with the burner. Looking tough as shit. I know I'm gonna miss everything I shoot at. I ain't been to shooting range or nothing. I just got adrenaline and calm. I'm ready to aim at a motherfucker with adrenaline and calm. But that day, Raymond needs a ride back. And so Took said, hell yeah. So I jump in the back as usual. So Tookie's next to me. Raymond's in the front, T-Bone's driving. All the windows down. Sunday afternoon, coming back from Inglewood on Manchester. T-Bone got an 8-track tape of the new song that just came out by the Commodores called Zoom. And Raymond's stuck on it. He keeps clicking that motherfucker to the same song, but he's singing it at the top of his voice. Oh, Zoom, I like to fly far away from here, where my mind. And he's singing at the top of his voice, but that shit is infectious. So we all just like this, right? That shit is fucking cool. We just like, this is the top of crypto. This is the fucking top, right? And I'm like fucking 12. And this shit is fucking blowing my mind, but I'm like, this is fucking crippling right here. All the way back. So we heard all the way back. So when we get back, I go in the backyard and grab my bike. I got a BMX. When I come out, Took say, hey, Raymond, you hungry? Raymond said, hell yeah. So Took broke out a couple dollars. He didn't ask me if I wanted shit. I had been carrying a gun all day. But I was like, fuck, I'm hungry as a motherfucker, right? I didn't want to say that. I couldn't say it. So he looked at me and said, hey, Cody, go up to Vivian's and get me a fish sandwich. What you want, Raymond? Raymond said, give me an egg sandwich. So I got him an egg sandwich. I got the money. I pushed him on my bike, but I was mad as a motherfucker because I was hungry and shit. So I go up there. When I get Raymond shit, they had cut it in half like a triangle. Man, I opened one piece of bread. I stole the egg. I hated it. Put the sandwich back, folded it back up and shit, packed it back, put it back, and I bailed back down there. Egg all on my face. I didn't even know. Push up, hook slide, jumped off, gave him the shit. Like 2 minutes later, Raymond said, hey, Took, hey, cuz, this motherfucker ain't got no egg in it, cuz. Took said, man, what? Looked over there. Took said, he looked right at me. I got egg and shit. He knew I did that shit, but he spared me. He looked at me. He said, let's go. Boom. They marched up to fucking Vivian's, Took and Raymond, and jumped over the counter, took everything they had. From fucking spoons to salt and pepper. Fucking jalapenos, everything. Put that shit in big ass bags and walked down the street with it. I felt so bad for the Asian people. But I was so happy because they ate so well that day. But later on, Tookie told me. He said, motherfucker, I know you did it. I said, I ain't do nothing, man. That's when I first met Raymond. I mean, yeah, I'm not proud that I stole the egg out of the sandwich, but I was hungry. I was being a valiant soldier all day. I ain't break no oaths. I ain't break no laws. I stole the founder's egg.
So when you joined
later on, I paid back in bodies and desolation.
Doing a biopic about how the Crips got started and stuff like that, which is like the first big gang in California. Then later on, offshoot was the Bloods. But I think if done right with a good budget, this could be a really, who would play a good Raymond Washington? And let me know if y'all think this would be a good match in the comments. Maybe if he's a little bit young. I mean, I guess he could play a younger, because I say, let me see, this actor that I'm thinking about that would play a good Raymond Washington, he's about 31, 32. I think Raymond Washington passed away when he was 25. The person I think that would play a good Raymond Washington in a biopic about the Crips, Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, I think they can make him look younger. They can shave his face. They can give him a little fro, like like Raymond had. He got the physique. He already swole like a Raymond Washington. I think he could play a Raymond Washington, if they did it in the next 2 or 3 years. Because right now he's about, 30, 31. Raymond Washington, I believe, died when he was about 25, 26. So he still could play a 25-year-old at 32, 33, But I think if they did a biopic about the Crips, I think he would play a good Raymond Washington. Now, somebody that would play Tookie, I don't know. Who would make a good Tookie? Who y'all think would make a good Tookie? They did a Crips biopic. Leave it in the comments and subscribe to Charles Arnett's World. Thanks for watching.
For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arnett's World. Thanks for watching.
Enjoying this shit so far? Then hit that thumbs up button.